Welcome back, everybody, to the Baltimore Orioles franchise here on MLB The Show 21. We've got some more playoff baseball here in season number 5 with games 2 and 3 of the ALDS. Game 1 was, well, not ideal. We lost 4-1. We just didn't play well. The pitching was not great. The offense really struggled to find any form of consistency. And we have to start performing here. The past couple of seasons, we've been so good of a regular season and have flopped in the postseason, and we cannot let that happen again this year, and that starts with a pivotal Game 2. So we're not really going to talk too much about it. We're just going to get right into it because we've got two of the biggest games of the season today, and that starts with Game 2 here at home and a major opportunity to get back in it. This series being 1-1 is far different than being down 2-0. So although this is not an elimination game for the Orioles, it is still absolutely a must-win game for Baltimore. And if they lose, they're in a lot of trouble, being down 2-0, not having home field advantage for the rest of the series. So this is the most important game of the year thus far, and one that they have to win. Kris Bubic will be starting tonight for the Baltimore Orioles, and remember, they acquired him at the trade deadline from the Kansas City Royals, so this game really gives Bubic an opportunity to prove why he was acquired. So far, the other postseason series have all, well, not been very close. Each of them have started off 2-0 in favor of Houston, Arizona, and Atlanta, so if fate holds up, that would be bad news for our Baltimore Orioles as we take a look at both lineups. Regular starters for the most part. No Xavier Bowman today for Baltimore, but other than that, the usual suspects as here comes Kris Bubic, who started in the All-Star game representing the American League for Kansas City, then of course traded a couple weeks later at the deadline to Baltimore, and really has an opportunity to prove himself here in the postseason as a top-flight starting pitcher. Lourdes Gurriel Jr. looks at the changeup going right down the middle. He could not have asked for a better pitch than that. I don't know what he was waiting for. A good first inning for Bubic as we go to the bottom half of the frame. The Angels have Lucas Giolito on the mound as part of their star-studded pitching rotation with 5 all-star caliber starters, dare I say. Lenny Lane had a quiet Game 1, going 0 for 4, trying to get on track here today as arguably the best hitter in baseball this season grounds out to first. So it's a 1-2-3 inning for both pitchers. Bubic and Giolito off to very strong starts as we head to the second inning. No offensive action so far, and we'll see which side ends up breaking away first. Mike Trout leads off the inning here for the Angels, and he's going to bloop this one into right field into the middle of nowhere, but there's no one around to get it, so it's going to be a base hit for Mike Trout, and the Angels have their first runner aboard of the ball game. We'll see if they can capitalize here with the middle of their lineup due up. That starts with Jared Walsh, who launches a bomb into right center field. You can forget about it. It's a 2-run shot for Walsh, and the Angels start this game off up 2-0. In a must-win contest here for the Orioles, that's really not the best of starts. I know that seems kind of obvious, but really not ideal, and it's going to keep on coming. Jesse Winker, now the very next batter, beats the shift perfectly. A double for Winker. And the first 3 Angels batters in this inning have got aboard. So it has been a disastrous start of the second inning here for Kris Bubic so far. He does get Sean Murphy to strike out, though. Murphy went 4 for 4 in Game 1, so it's, I guess, satisfying to finally get him out. Hunter Renfroe is now up 1-2 pitch. Lines this one in a left field. That'll go for a single. Winker decides to hold up at third, probably the smart call. And now the Angels have runners in the corners and a big opportunity here for the 9-hole hitter, as he would eventually be out, and that'll bring up Edgar Feliz, who lines it to second, caught by Shed Lawn. So the Angels score 2, they leave 2 aboard. Not a great inning there for Kris Bubic or the Orioles, and just like Game 1, they have some early damage control to make up. Here on the bottom of the second, Nick Castellanos is up to bat, and he's going to pop this one into right field. Should be caught, and it will be caught. The middle of the Orioles lineup, 3, 4, and 5, have been very disappointing thus far in the playoffs. Lenny Lang, Louis St. John, and Nick Castellanos, all of whom were all-star starters, 3 of the best hitters in baseball. They have to get their act together. Elliot Ramos is now up, and this one is hit high, sort of deep into right field, but again will be caught. 2 perfect innings for Giolito, and so far, the Oriole lineup does not look a whole lot better than they did in Game 1. Still plenty of game left to be played, but not really an ideal start. Lourdes Gurriel Jr. leads off the third inning, struck out looking last time. And again, he has a changeup right down the middle of the plate. I don't know what he was waiting for. So Bubic is now up to 4 strikeouts on the day. Jared Walsh is now up. He hit the home run earlier. Grounds it to third, fielded cleanly by Mountcastle, who gets the out at first. So a solid inning there for Bubic. He's pitched 2 good innings thus far, but that second inning so far is really hurting him, especially considering the rest of the offense is yet to get anything going. Carmen Sixto looks at the 12-6 curve. They call it strike 3. That one did not look like it was in the zone, certainly on the fringe. But, I mean, that's just a perfect pitch. You can't really blame Sixto there. That was right on the edge. And the umpire calls him out. So still no base runners yet here for the O's, as that'll bring up Ryan Mountcastle. And he goes down swinging again on the 12-6 curve. Lucas Giolito is just giving this lineup fits up to this point. Now into the fourth inning. Game remains 2-0. Sean Murphy up to bat here for the Angels. And that one's lined to first. Nice grab by Carmen Sixto. After a Hunter Renfroe walk, that would bring up Jorge Polanco here. Runner on first, 2 away, full count pitch. This one is weakly grounded to short. Xavier Edwards gets to it slowly. The play at first is going to be close. They got him out. Good throw there by Edwards. And not quite a 1-2-3 inning, but another solid frame from Bubic, who has pitched 3 really good innings so far. The problem is, nobody for Baltimore has gotten on base. Shed Lawn looking to change that, hit a home run in Game 1, and he lines this one high and deep into right field. It's gone! Solo shot for Shed Lawn, and the Baltimore Orioles are on the board. So far through the first game and a half of the postseason, Shed Lawn has been the only source of runs for the Orioles with his 2 solo home runs. But Baltimore's right back in the game as it's now 2-1. Great work there from Shed Lawn, as that'll bring up Adley Rutschman, the catcher. 2-1 count. Rutschman lines this one into left center field. That's going to drop for extra bases. And now the Orioles lineup is starting to come alive. So Lawn hits the home run. Rutschman hits the double. And now the big 3 is due up of Lynn, St. John, and Castellanos. And what a great opportunity they have to put the Baltimore Orioles back in this ballgame. That starts with Lenny Lane, who does not have a base hit yet in the postseason. And it looks like that's going to stick, as he's going to weakly fly out to third. Rendon makes the play. Okay, no big deal, just out number 1. Lenny Lane now 0 for 6 so far in the postseason, as that will bring up the American League MVP, Louis St. John, who has also not done a whole lot here in the playoffs. Certainly wants to show that he is the MVP as he flies this one into right center, and it will be caught. So again, the juice of this lineup continuing to struggle. And now it's up to Nick Castellanos here to drive in this run, otherwise the Angels will hold on to the lead. Count is 1-2. Runner on second, 2 away. Castellanos strikes out. So again, the middle of the lineup, the 3 best hitters for Baltimore, Lynn, St. John, and Castellanos, just flat out unacceptable. I mean, they cannot continue to struggle this bad, as the 3 of them have so far combined 1 for 18 in the postseason, and that one hit was off a bloop single. That probably should not have gone for a base hit. Into the 5th inning, here's Edgar Feliz. More like Feliz Navidad, and he's going to wish us a Happy New Year as well. Solo shot for Feliz, and the Angels extend the lead. Keep in mind, this kid is just playing his 11th career Major League game, regular season or postseason, and he has been unbelievably impressive so far here for the Angels. Lourdes Gurriel strikes out again. He's gone down looking on the changeup on all 3 of his at-bats. That's pretty depressing, not going to lie. 2 away now for Mike Trout. Grounds it to third. Mountcastle makes the play. It looks like he tried to play in there, and it worked. So that'll end the inning. That'll probably end Chris Bubic's day. Not bad, not great, just so-so. Certainly not a strong 5th inning with the home run by the youngster Edgar Feliz. That was his first postseason home run of his career. And Los Angeles is back up by 2, as it's now 3-1. Ryan Mountcastle is up with 2 away. Grounds it to second. And just like the first 3 innings, it's a 1-2-3 frame here for Giolito, getting right back to business after a sloppy start in the 4th inning. So the Angels lead this game 3-1. Still 4 innings left to go, but if this game holds and the Angels do win, then the Orioles are in a really sticky situation. The long reliever, Will Brooks, is in for Baltimore here in the 6th inning, the first-time All-Star, coming off a solid postseason debut as he gets Jared Walsh to go down looking. The Orioles sticking with the lefty. Obviously, Bubic and Brooks, both left-handed pitchers. Interesting strategy there with the first 2 batters for the Angels in this inning being lefties, as Jesse Winker also strikes out. So the strategy of keeping a lefty in certainly pays off. And Sean Murphy goes down looking on the changeup. So it's a hat trick there for Will Brooks. Does not allow any of the Angels to even put the ball in play. 1-2-3 retires the side, all on strikeouts, and we go to the bottom half of the inning. Adley Rutschman up with 2 away. Gonna line this one to short. Polanco makes the play. And no, he's safe! A missed throw by Jorge Polanco, and this could really change things. So again, it's the meat of the lineup due up for the Orioles, 3-4-5. Even though they've struggled in the playoffs, they're still Baltimore's best batters. Lenny Lane singles into center. Okay, now we got something going. 2 on, 2 out. A major opportunity here for the American League MVP Louis St. John to put the Orioles back in this game, to put the Orioles back in this series. 2-1 count. Pitch from Giolito. This one is lined into right field. It'll drop for a single. Rutschman decides to hold up at third. It looks like that was the right decision. And the bases are now loaded. Nick Castellanos has a major opportunity here. He left the bases loaded back in game 1 as the count is 3-2. Outside, ball 4, run scores. So Castellanos draws the walk. Adley Rutschman will score. The Orioles are only down by 1, and the bases are still loaded. And remember, all of this was because of that error by Jorge Polanco. So that'll bring up Elliot Ramos. Lines it nicely into left field, and it will be caught. So the Orioles do score a run. They are now within 1, but they left the bases loaded again. A wasted opportunity there for Baltimore, and we'll see if that ends up biting them in the rear end as we go into the 7th inning now. Only 3 frames to go. Will Brooks still in as he faces off against Hunter Renfroe, who will single into right center field. Whenever the Orioles have scored today, it seems like the Angels always try to answer back, and they're doing that so far here in the 7th. Lourdes Gurriel Jr. is now up with 2 away. Safe to say he's not going to strike out for a 4th time. A 2-run blast into right center field, and the Angels now lead this game by 3 runs. Gurriel with his first home run of the postseason, and maybe the Orioles should not have kept Will Brooks in for as long as they did. A costly mistake there by Brooks and the O's. Will Brooks stays in the game trying to finish this one off as Rendon hits it weakly into left field. It will be caught by Louis St. John, but another unsuccessful inning there as Lourdes Gurriel hits a 2-run shot, and the Angels comfortably lead this game by 3 runs with 2.5 innings to go. Lucas Giolito's day is done. It'll be Raisel Iglesias who enters in his place. Iglesias pitched a good first inning back in game 1 of this series as he faces off against Ryan Mountcastle, who rips that one right by him for a single into center field. I will say the offense has definitely been progressively better as this game has gone along, just like game 1. But so far they haven't been able to do enough as Heston Kjerstad enters as a pinch hitter, and he will ground into a 4-6-3 double play. That was pretty much the worst case scenario on that play. Minus maybe Heston Kjerstad tearing a hamstring as he goes to first. And with Heston Kjerstad's durability throughout this series, that really would not have surprised me all that much. So here's Felix Rosa now in the 8th inning. He had a pretty solid regular season, making his first postseason appearance of the year as he faces off against Jared Walsh, who homered earlier. This one will stay in the ballpark, but not by much as it goes off the top of a wall and right. The right fielder completely misplays it, and that'll be a double for Walsh. So the Angels have another runner in scoring position as they have a great opportunity to extend their lead. Jesse Winker, big swing and a miss. Nasty curveball by Felix Rosa. That pitch was absolutely filthy. So Rosa will strike him out. Can I try to get Sean Murphy as well? And he sure does on the inside cutter. So a nice inning there for Felix Rosa as the game remains 5-2. Going into the bottom of the 8th as the Orioles try to come back here with only 2 innings to go. And with how the offense has played in both games of this series, I wouldn't say my confidence is very high for Baltimore as Michael Feliz enters here in the bottom of the 8th inning. With it being the Christmas season, Shed Long being up to bat. Would love to wish him a Feliz Navidad! A bomb into right field. Shed Long has been an animal so far in the postseason as it's his 3rd home run in the past 2 games. It's a shame the rest of his lineup has been an absolute disaster. The only other player to drive in a run so far for the Orioles here in the postseason is Nick Castellanos. And Castellanos' batting average in the playoffs is 0. So the Orioles now bring you within 1. That'll bring up Adley Rutschman. He's going to rip this one up the middle for a single. So again, with nobody out, the Orioles have a runner aboard. and the 3, 4, 5 hitters are due up, who all reached base on their previous at-bats. So we'll see what they can do here. That starts with Lenny Lane, who statistically was the best hitter in the American League this year, probably the best hitter in all of baseball. Finished second in the MVP race behind his teammate Louis St. John as he strikes out on the low fastball. So it's only out number 1, no biggie, as that'll bring up Louis St. John here, who had the base hit in his last at-bat. Count is 1-2, pitch from Feliz. This one is going to be chopped into center, hit pretty hard, but it will be caught by Mike Trout for the second out of the inning. And the blows just keep on coming. So now the Orioles need a big base hit from Nick Castellanos to cut back into the deficit. Castellanos drove in a run on his last at-bat with a walk, but still does not have a hit yet in the playoffs, and it looks like that streak will continue. That slider was way outside, but he still swings and misses. So Shed Lawn hits another home run, but the Orioles still find themselves down by 2 with an inning to go. Bruce Dark Gratterall checks in here in the 9th inning. Was good in Game 1, pitched a scoreless inning. We'll see if he can do so again as he faces off against Hunter Renfroe, not to be mistaken from the NFL wide receiver, as Renfroe singles into left center field. So again, whenever the Orioles score, it seems like the Angels try to steal all of the momentum immediately. Renfroe is now aboard. That'll bring up Jorge Polanco, who takes a big swing and a miss on a high fastball. I believe the count was full there as well, so a gutsy pitch from Gratterall, but it pays off. 2 away now for Lourdes Gurriel Jr. Gets that one past the glove of Shed Lawn for a single into right. Bad throw, but it doesn't matter. Nobody moves up. So now there's 2 on. 2 away here for Rendon. Draws a walk, and the bases are now loaded. Gratterall has himself in a sticky situation with the bases loaded up against Mike Trout. Not really the guy you want to face off against in this situation, and Trout is going to get that one past the glove of Castellanos, who misplays it. 2-run score. It's a 2-run double for Mike Trout, and I think the Angels have just put the icing on this game. Los Angeles now leads this one 7-3. Jared Walsh trying to keep the fun going. It doesn't look like he will, as he hits that one of a warning track and left, but it is caught by Louis St. John. Nonetheless, the Orioles need 4 runs here in the bottom of the 9th inning to tie this game up. And to put things in perspective, through the first 17 innings that the Orioles have hit in this series, they have scored a combined 4 runs, and now they need to do that in just 1 inning. Mike Myers checks into the game here for Los Angeles, as Baltimore's final hope is Ryan Mountcastle, who hits a moonshot into left field. If it's fair, it's gone, and it is fair. Mountcastle tries to keep Baltimore in it a little while longer. A 377-foot bomb, the first home run here hit in the postseason by an Oriole not named Shed Lawn, and it is now 7-4. So from there, it technically becomes a save situation, and the closer Aaron Sledgers will come in for the save. He has pitched in both of Los Angeles' playoff outings, recorded saves in both of them, and gets another one here as Jalen Miller lines out to short. The Los Angeles Angels have a commanding 2-0 lead on the series. I think it's fair to say this is certainly not the position the Orioles want to be in, but we have to play the hand that we're dealt with, and now we need to win 3 straight games to keep our season alive. Again, not a great performance. Our pitching was not great. Our offense, I guess, was a little better. I mean, not really. Shed Lawn is doing a great job of trying to put the team on his back, but unfortunately, in baseball, you need 26 guys to perform well, not 1. And on the other side, Mike Trout knows that all too well. He's tried to carry the Angels for a decade, and now that he has a good team around him, they're obviously doing some big things. So that brings us to Game 3 in LA. Win or go home. If we lose, our 103-win regular season is thrown out the window, down the toilet, all for nothing, because we could not clutch up in the postseason. The most important game of the year yet. Game 2 was sort of a must-win. This is a literal must-win, because if we lose, we are done. I cannot stress that enough. Next episode might be the offseason episode if we lose this game, and we don't want the offseason to come this early. We're not ready for that. All 3 of the other series have already ended, 2 of which in sweeps, with the Astros and Diamondbacks beating their opponents. The Braves beat the Dodgers in 4, so our series is the only one left. As we take a look at both lineups, no Nick Castellanos for Baltimore. Very interesting decision there by Coach Feebles, who's pretty much telling his players, if you're not going to perform, you're not going to play. I don't think he has the balls to pull out someone like Lenny Lane, but certainly a loud statement there. The flame-throwing righty Tyler Glasnow is in the game for the Angels. He had a not-so-great regular season, probably statistically their worst starting pitcher, which doesn't say much because they literally have 5 aces on their staff. But nonetheless, his ERA nearing 5 as he gets Adley Rutschman to go down looking. Rutschman is hitting leadoff today. The Orioles have moved Shed Long down a little bit to the 3 spot since he's been so good. That's where normally the best hitter in the lineup goes, as Long will line out to center, caught by Mike Trout. So a 1-2-3 inning there from Tyler Glasnow. And the Orioles lineup does not start off too strong here in Anaheim. Max Meyer is starting for the Orioles. If you had said a season ago that the playoffs would come down to Max Meyer, I'd be terrified. I'm a lot less terrified because Max Meyer had a great regular season, a breakout campaign from a 26-year-old righty who now in what I believe is one of his first career postseason starts is a really great opportunity, and it starts off well. Striking out Edgar Feliz on the high and outside fastball. Lourdes Gurriel Jr. now up for Los Angeles, and he goes down chasing on the changeup. It looked like he checked his swing, but the umpire does say he went around. Max Meyer looking pretty good so far as we go to the top of the second. Elliot Ramos is up, lines it into center field. Trout chasing after it, and he does make the grab. So again, 1-2-3 innings from Glasnow, and a very poor start for the Baltimore lineup. As we go to the bottom of the second, Mike Trout leads things off for LA, and Trout is going to shoot the gap in right center. This one could go for extra bases, and it will. A double for Mike Trout, and now the Angels have a runner in scoring position with nobody out. Now 2-on for Walsh, who takes a big swing and a miss on the changeup. He was trying to swing for the fences there. Meyer now at 3 strikeouts on the game. He also gets Jorge Polanco to go down looking on the high fastball. Meyer up to 4 strikeouts today as that brings up Brandon Marsh, who hits it nicely into left field. Louis St. John, his throw home is a good one, but not in time. So it's an RBI single for Marsh, and the Angels are on the board as they lead 1-0. Sean Murphy is now up. He looks at the high fastball for ball 4, and the bases are now loaded. A major opportunity here for Edgar Feliz, who's going to fly this one out to right. So the Angels do leave the bases loaded, but they also score 1 and lead 1-0. Not a great inning there for Max Meyer, but I suppose it could have ended worse as we move into the 3rd inning. Jalen Miller getting his first postseason start of the year as that's a great play at short from Polanco, but a nice hustle to first by Jalen Miller has him safe for an infield single. The Orioles have their first base runner aboard. That'll bring up Xavier Bowman back in the starting lineup, and that pitch was just filthy. A mean curveball from Tyler Glasnow. Nothing Xavier Bowman did wrong, but sheesh, that pitch was nasty. 2 away now for Adley Rutschman, who hits this one high and deep. In the left center, go ball, go, it's gone! And for the first time here in the entire playoffs, the Baltimore Orioles are winning. Solo home run there for Adley Rutschman, and although all the attention has deservedly been put on Shed Long, Adley Rutschman is probably the only other batter who's been actually really good so far here in the playoffs. Louis St. John is now up. He singles into center field, and even if St. John has been a little bit disappointing so far in the playoffs, he does have a hit in every game, so I got to give him credit. So now there's a runner on here for Shed Long. Can he get homer number 4? Damn right he does! You cannot stop Shed Long. You can only hope to contain him. Shed Long has been nothing short of unbelievable so far in the postseason. And if the Orioles keep winning, he's got a shot to break some records throughout this postseason. But that would obviously imply Baltimore has to win 3 in a row. But hey, this inning is a good start. The Orioles have scored 5 runs in the first 2 games of this series, and they just had an inning in which they scored 4. Mike Trout goes down looking, a good inning there for Max Meyer. And for the first time here in this postseason series, it feels like the Orioles actually have some momentum. Ryan Mountcastle trying to keep the fun going as the second baseman bobbles it. An infield single for Mountcastle, and the hits just keep on coming. You have to wonder if the Angels might make a pitching change soon, especially if Baltimore's lineup keeps slugging it. Bowman with 2 away, hits it into left field. The Orioles are going to score another run as Winker had trouble fielding it. So Mountcastle scores safely. It's an RBI single for Xavier Bowman. And the Orioles now lead this game 5-1 as we go to the bottom half of the inning. Jared Walsh strikes out on the 4-seam fastball. Max Meyer has been striking out batters left and right tonight. That is his 6th of the ball game, trying to make it 7 here against Polanco. Not quite, as he singles into center field. The Angels get their first base runner since the second inning, and maybe they can get back into the ball game here with a little 2-out rally. as this one is weakly hit into left, and it will be caught by Louis St. John. So no two-out rally. Baltimore holds on to their 5-1 lead as we hop into the 5th inning. We'll see if the Orioles can keep the good times rolling, as it will be Louis St. John up here for the Orioles. Full count pitch. Nobody on. 1 out as he draws a walk. And St. John reaches base for a second time today. Glasnow frustrated with himself. And with that, his day would be done. Patrick Sandoval, the lawn reliever, checks in. I guess the Angels wanted a lefty because Shed Lawn, who is a lefty, is about to hit. And obviously Lawn has raked against righties here in the postseason. But statistically, Lawn has actually hit against lefties better in the regular season. He does strike out looking there. That pitch was very clearly low, but the umpire said it was in the zone, so it's strike 3. Bottom of the 5th inning now. Sean Murphy goes down on the high outside fastball. That would have been ball 4 had he not swung at it, but Max Meyer gets that one to blow by him. 2 away now for Lourdes Gurriel Jr., who weakly pops this one up. Adley Rutschman should be under it. That is 5 great innings for Max Meyer, who now is at 89 pitches. So the Orioles have a tough decision. Do they keep the hot hand in, or do they go to the bullpen? Baltimore has lost some games this year by going to the pen too early, but they do have one of the better bullpens in baseball, so you could make an argument either way. What a play there by Jorge Polanco at short to get Jalen Miller out. A good 6th inning there for Patrick Sandoval, who has pitched pretty well since he entered the game. Max Meyer still in here in the 6th inning, and it would pay off as he retires the side. He faced off against the 3-4-5 hitters as well, so you got to give him a ton of credit there. That was Winker who grounded out to Jalen Miller. 6 innings, 1-run baseball. Phenomenal outing here for Max Meyer. With 3 innings to go, we'll see if the O's can hold on, and we'll jump right to the bottom of the 7th as the top half of the inning was pretty uneventful. Kellen Poche, the lefty, checks in for his first postseason appearance of the year as he walks Jorge Polanco on the low splitter. So if the Angels have a runner aboard here with 1 out, we'll see if they can score for the first time since the 2nd inning. Brandon Marsh strikes out on the curveball, and Baltimore would get out of it as we enter the 8th. Look who's in as a pinch hitter, Nick Castellanos, and wow, a moonshot into left field. Welcome to the ball game, Nick Castellanos. It's a solo shot, and the Orioles lead 6-1. So Castellanos enters the game here late, and he's making a loud and clear statement to manager Carlos Feebles, saying, hey, I know you're pissed off at me for not performing, but here you go. A solo home run. I think it's fair to say Castellanos will be in the lineup for Game 4, pending a miraculous Angels comeback, as Cosmo Cruz checks in at the bottom of the 8th. He pitched in Game 1, and he pitched very poorly. So hopefully he can do a little bit better, and it's not a great start for him, as Edgar Feliz, the leadoff hitter, will hit that one into left center field. That one will go for a double. So Los Angeles has a runner on in scoring position with nobody out. Now it's still a 5-run game, but you never know, especially with Cosmo Cruz's first performance. He would retire the next 3 batters, finished off with a Mike Trout strikeout. So the score remains 6-1 as we go into the 9th inning, where the Orioles appear to be in comfortable position to finish this one out. Raisel Iglesias will enter for his 3rd postseason appearance, as Adley Rutschman with 2 away hits this one nicely in the left center, and it is gone! 2 home runs on the day for Adley Rutschman, and they both went to the exact same part of the field. So the Orioles now lead this game 8-1, officially turning this into a blowout and pretty much putting the icing on the cake. Iglesias would not make it out of the inning, and instead it'll be James Pazos who tries to finish it off as he faces off against Shed Lawn, who will get that one into right field for a base hit. So now the Orioles have 2 on with 2 out. Even with their comfortable lead, it doesn't look like they're done yet, as the Yerminator, Yermin Mercedes, will check into the game for Lenny Ling. He grounds it to short. Nice play by Polanco, who flips it over to second. So another good inning there for the Orioles, courteous of an Adley Rutschman 2-run blast. As we go to the bottom of the 9th inning, we'll see if the O's can finish it off. Julian Starnes will be on the bump. He pitched 2/3 of an inning in Game 1, and he did not allow a run. As with 2 away, it's Jorge Polanco who hits this one into left field. St. John chasing after it, and the Baltimore Orioles live to see another day. They dominate the Los Angeles Angels by the final score of 8-1, and the Orioles season will last for at least one more game. After the way our offense played in Games 1 and 2, I was certainly concerned entering this game, but they were great, and the pitching as well certainly limited base runners, which they had not done in Games 1 or 2. Now, the lineup wasn't perfect. The bottom half of the lineup really struggled, but it didn't matter because guys like St. John, Lawn and Rutschman really played well. Max Meyer pitched his butt off. He was phenomenal, and the bullpen did a good job of cleanup duty as well. The Angels lineup was not good. 1 run, 4 hits. The pitching also was not very good either. Tyler Glasnow had a rough start. The bullpen was a little bit shaky too. So there you go. We split games 2 and 3. We're down 2-1, but we still have a fighting chance. That brings us to game 4 in LA. Yerman Marquez on the mound for us. We'll see if we can keep the win streak alive and push this series to a 5th game. Make sure to like the video. Make sure to subscribe to the channel if you're new. Peace out.